Hello, everyone. Welcome to Two Broke Sophomores. I'm Andrew Cohen. So you're probably confused why you don't hear an awkwardly timed. I'm George Long. The thing is, George couldn't make it today. He's currently moving into college at Emerson, as I did on Thursday, and that first couple days can be pretty hard. So, it's important to, when someone's moving in, making transitions to, give them space and give them the ability to move in. And, so he wasn't able to do the interview we have today and, this intro, but I'm pretty sure he'll be back next week. And, so our guest today is Josh Thomas. Josh Thomas, he's a fellow student at Columbia College Chicago. He is in the comedy program like me. He's an interesting guy. I said he's a good person. Trust me. He's a good guy. He wants to be a professional comedian like me. I think in the interview I said, I was like, he's an aspiring comedian. He was like, no, I am a comedian, but I want to be a professional, and I made that mistake. So, so we both want to be comedians, so I thought it would be fun to talk to a fellow comedian, just kind of one-on-one, and talk about our hopes and dreams and other stuff. And it was a really great interview. The audio quality, I have to say, is not, the best we've ever done. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was his phone. Maybe it was us. I don't know. But I apologize if you cannot understand it. I edited it the best I can, but you can only do so much. But we'll probably try to have him back for another episode. We're thinking of. I'm trying to move to a studio. It would be nice if because Columbia and Emerson, probably where George is, has audio studios. So we're going to try to use those in the future, but we'll, update you on that. But without further ado, here is my conversation with Josh Thomas. Enjoy. Hey, Josh, welcome to the show.
How you doing, guys?
Good.
Or is it
good.
Is it just you, or is it someone else?
No, it's just me this time. My
okay. So I take it back. How you doing?
Good. No, he couldn't make. He really wanted to make it, but he had to. He had to put his podcasting stuff away because he's going to college tomorrow. So he had to pack it up.
Bullshit, if you ask me. I don't know.
No, it's. Yeah, I think that too.
He's
but
okay.
Yeah,
he obviously didn't want to talk to me, but it's okay. He did his research. He didn't want to talk to me.
He looked at your YouTube page and he was like, this is all you, buddy.
I'll pass. No thanks.
I'll pass. So you're a aspiring comedian, correct?
I'm a comedian. I'm an inspiring, successful comedian. I don't inspire to be funny. I'm hoping that I am funny. But I guess not based off your question. But no, yes, I am an aspiring comedian. That's what I want to do. But yeah.
Yeah. Professional comedian. Let's phrase that. You're an aspiring professional.
I want to make money from it. That's the goal. Cause right now it's not looking good.
It's not looking good. The prospects
That's
are.
why I came to college. It's because I knew I was doing something wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the argument could be made is, and you're from Los Angeles, and we'll talk about that. But the argument could be made is you could have.
Actually, no, not from Los Angeles, from San Diego. So we can't do much for you.
I
I
don't
can
think
hang out.
anybody gets
If
the
you thought,
difference.
oh, okay, yeah, cool. I was like, if you thought I was going to LA, I can hang up. You know, obviously you didn't want this to happen. Yeah, I don't think
It's
there really
like,
is. I think if you're not from California, I think everywhere is San Diego or everything's Los Angeles. It doesn't really matter.
isn't like, it's like what, it's like everybody, some guy from Nebraska is just like, oh, he's from California. What is that, like, is that San Diego? Is that like,
Yeah.
where does he live he lives next to Ron Burgundy?
Yeah. Nah. I don't live next to Ron Burgundy. I live next to this lady who throws lemons at my car.
She did? Wait,
Yeah.
why did she do that?
I don't know. We just have rude neighbors, I guess. In La Jolla, if you take someone's parking spot, that's basically spitting in your face. And so I got lemons thrown at my car. So I don't have Ron Burgundy as a neighbor.
Okay. Which is, I guess, is a good thing. Right?
Yeah, it is a good thing.
You just hear shouting all the time, you'd hear weird sounds like, ah! Ah!
Ah! Well,
Yeah, so
my
La
question for you,
Jolla.
so you're, what was that?
La Jolla, is that, so you're from La
Yeah,
Jolla?
La Jolla, California.
Okay. Because I was going to say an argument could be made is that you didn't really have, because of where you live, there's so many, are there comedy clubs near you?
Yeah, we actually got a really famous one, the Comedy Store. I actually went in and auditioned a few times.
Okay, and you can do that as a non-21-year-old?
Yeah, actually, you can do it as an 18-year-old. It's like it's really a really famous comedy store. And it's just called Comedy Store. But yeah, I've definitely tried to get gigs. I've definitely gone in and seen if I can get some gigs there. But never gotten gigs there. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's hard.
No, I'm messing with you. It's a great place. The Comedy Store. I actually haven't tried to get gigs. I was just trying to self-deprecate myself a little bit there. But I definitely, that's one of my dream performance places. Not as like, obviously I could go on for an open mic whenever I want, but I really want to be like, I want to headline there one day. That's a goal.
Yeah, no, same. That would be an awesome experience. And you want to do stand-up or improv, or both?
It's really, honestly, my biggest interest is skit comedy, actually. I like doing, like sketches.
Oh, sketch comedy, yeah.
That's probably one of my favorites, sketch comedy.
I mean, you can definitely tell. I watched a little bit, and you have a show on YouTube called The Josh Thomas Show that you did at Idlewild.
I did it in Idlewild and San Diego, two places. Idlewild was where I went to Boarding Arts Academy for all of high school, and San Diego is where I'm from. So I did the show in both places. It was a little bigger in San Diego, though.
Okay, and because I could tell, it seemed like a very kind of like Tonight Show feel.
That's exactly what
it was like,
it's a late night.
yeah.
It's very late night.
Yeah, it was a mixture. Yeah, it was like, it's because I could tell there was a lot of, it was interviews mixed in with games and sketches and, yeah. How did that get started?
What was that?
How did the Josh Thomas Show get started? You okay?
Year high school, I got to this high school and I was like, okay, I really want to do something different. That was out of my major because I was actually a musical theater major throughout high school. And I was like, I really want to do something out of my major a little bit that's a little different that no one's done before. And so I was like, I want to do this talk show. And I got my friend Ethan and we kind of talked about it and we're like, yeah, that'd be great. And then we started literally running around campus looking for a place to film it. We were looking at basements. We were looking at like little closet spaces, like anything that looked like I could fit a chair and a sofa in, hallways, dorm rooms. We were looking in the dining hall even. And then finally we're like, okay, let's go look at like the actual theater, our theater building. And we went in because anything like students could use if they asked, like it was okay. And so I was like, okay, let me check the theater space out. And while we walked into the theater space, we walked into the lobby, and I was like, no, wait, this is actually really awesome, the lobby. We put the couch, the lobby, and the couch in the lobby together with the chair. Had a little desk that they had there with an old desk chair. Set it up, and then we were going to do it like pre-filmed. And I was like, no, let's invite some people over. And then people watched the show, and it was funny. And then I worked from there to get it to where it is now.
And is that you got a lot of your, I guess, subscribers, and you would put them on YouTube and sort of do the whole deal?
Yeah, actually, the show itself is more of a live show than a YouTube show. We don't really, like, put a lot of work into the YouTube channel. It's kind of like we tape it, and then this is what happened. It's not like, oh, go check our new YouTube video every Thursday and Friday. It's more of like a live show. Like, you get tickets, and you come see the show live, and then we put it online for the people that missed it. So, it's
and did
really
you make money from it?
Yeah, we would make money from admission. So it was about $5 for admission. We had about 450 seats. We'd at this one theater that I did it at, and you sell out, you make money, we would make just off admission, and then I would pay out employees back in La Jolla when I was making money from it. But when I do it here in Chicago, it's going to be something that I'm going to start doing free, because you can't charge if no one knows who you are.
Yeah, it's kind of the same with podcasting, because it's like you can't really,
like stand-up comedy. You can't charge stand-up comedy if you're not like you only pay if you're paying that you're paying for someone famous that you want to watch. Like other than that, people don't like paying for comedy. It's like, oh, this bar has comedy, let's go there. So you got to really just go. And you're not most of the time you're not making money from it, but you're making connections and you're meeting people, which sometimes is more valuable than the money at the moment.
Have you done a lot of stand-up comedy prior to doing the Josh Thomas show?
Yeah, well, so the beginning of the Josh Thomas show is a comedy monologue, and so that's pretty much the stand-up part of the show is when I'm standing on my X facing the camera towards the audience before I go to the desk area.
And so, do you write the show with other people, or is it like all you?
Well, now that I'm here in Chicago, that's my goal, is writing it with other people, because I got some other comedians that I know would be on board. So definitely writing it with other people, because I don't want this show. That's one thing that here I'm going to use this for a little piece. One thing that I don't want people to have the preconception of me is the preconception of that I'm all about myself. It's not like that at all. The reason I named my show after me was because, I made it. What else am I going to name it? The Oprah McDonald's show? Like, I don't know, what the fuck am I going to name it? Like, hey, welcome to fucking Burgers and Ham. Like, what the fuck? No, my name. It's simple. So,
I think we all kind of have that, like that fear when we're like making something. Yeah. It's when you make something, you don't want people to think like, look, I'm doing this because I think I'm better than everyone else. Not at all. If anything, my show, I made it I didn't even make the show to feature me. I made the show to feature other people. That's why if I wanted, I could have just done like a show where I just talked the whole time. But no, I've made the show to feature other talent that might not have a platform at the time. So I didn't have a platform, and that sucked. So I was like, I need to make my own platform and then give people platforms, because I was in that same position. So that was the purpose of my show, was to create a platform for me and for my peers and people that I like admire, or like people who I think are extremely talented. Like everyone at this, for example, at Columbia, everyone's talented. Everyone at the school deserves a platform, and it's pretty awesome seeing people like you creating their own platform. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. And like, that's the same thing I feel with, like George sometimes is like, like it's a co-host thing. Like, it's like, even though like it's
not all about the host. Like, that's what I was saying earlier. I think I didn't even finish my sentence, was that I didn't make it, like, it's not about me. It's not like, I'm not doing this for me. I want it to be an ensemble. It's not about just the host. It's about the lighting design and how the set looks, and how the painting on the set is, and how good the audio is, and like the music. Like, a big part of the show is the band. We have a late night band, and that's like, some people come just for the music. It's not just about me. It's just, I'm just in the show. I'm not a lead character. I'm not anything. It's all an ensemble. And that's how everything works. And that's why I like things like this, where it's not just about the host. It's about two people just talking and you seeing both of these people's creative side.
Two or three. And, you know,
Yeah,
and I do feel that, yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I was saying that's just one thing I always want in the air when I'm coming to new places. Like when I went to boarding school and I first made it, I didn't want people thinking I was making it for me, but for other people, because I don't want it to come up as what's the word? Condescending.
Yeah.
No, not the. I don't think that's the right word.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I do think there is. Yeah. There is also. I think there is a part of the human psyche. Like when I started doing podcasting. I hosted a podcast called 5 Live Comedy with Andrew Cohen, and it was purely for me. It was purely for me, and I would interview people for me. But I think what happens is you kind of learn from it, and it transformed into something where I was like, I'm not doing this for me anymore. I'm doing this because I love talking to people, and I love having meaningful conversations about life. And
you're not doing it for the attention. You're doing it because it's your passion.
Yeah, I think I was paying like $45 a month for my passion. It was an expensive passion, but
crack.
Exactly. How so you went to boarding school. Did that what was sort of, did you always go to boarding school, or was that like only through high school?
I went to boarding school for 4 years, and boarding school was a great experience. I learned a lot from that experience, good and bad things. I learned stuff about obviously being independent and how to make ramen and doing laundry.
Mostly those two things.
The
important stuff, making ramen and everything else.
Right.
Is below.
So like boarding school, it taught me things like that. And then it also taught me about ensemble and how everyone's a team. But it also taught me that you can't ever give 100% of yourself to anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you give 100% of yourself to everyone else, then that just makes you vulnerable, because that means they can affect 100% of you. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be honest, 90% of the people that I called my best friends in boarding school, I don't talk to anymore. Because once you leave or once you go away, it's like, okay, like you were just an experience. You weren't like nothing's like, that's why if I gave 100% of my, like, I learned from my mistake, because I used to give 100% of myself to every single person, and then I could be easily affected by everyone. So that's one thing I really learned from boarding school, was looking at people and being able to give them 50, or if you're a best friend, 80% of yourself. But never 100, because you got to keep some for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think self-care is extreme.
It's self-care. You can't, because then they can affect you mentally, emotionally, and that's just not what you want. You spend more time with yourself than anyone else. If you give 100% of yourself to other people, then you're going to be a pretty drained person.
Yeah, because I think relationships are a give and take thing. It's not just give, and expect nothing back. You need to like be able to receive back some of the friendship. If I give you a fucking gift, I want a nice ass gift for my birthday. Yeah. It's like I gave you, it's like if I gave you, I don't know what I could give you. If you give me something, then I gotta either give you something back or give something to someone else. Yeah, but it should match the gift, though. Do you think it should match, though? It has to match. You can't give someone an Xbox and then receive back like a $30
that's
Starbucks
actually,
gift card.
I think that's a law of nature. Is if someone gives you something, just give them the same thing. It's like think about AIDS, okay? If you get AIDS, what are you going to give people? Not chlamydia. AIDS, right? So I think there's a natural example right there.
Yeah, because you can't. But I think giving AIDS is. Did not think this is where that was going.
It's okay. We don't keep talking about AIDS.
No, let's keep talking about AIDS. That's what we're going to call this episode. It's going to be the AIDS episode.
Oh, fuck yeah, then. Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So speaking of AIDS, but yeah, if you give someone AIDS, you should get chlamydia back. I think that's about equal. I
Yeah.
think that
No,
is
it's true.
about equal.
You gotta. AIDS is a powerful thing, my friend.
It is a powerful thing. It's very, very
Not
powerful.
physically. I mean, like, you can learn a lot from AIDS.
You can. You'd be surprised. You can learn, loss. You can learn acceptance. You can learn
sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. This entire podcast is going to be a list of all the pros of AIDS.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, transitioning from I guess middle school to a boarding high school, was that hard for you?
What was that?
Transitioning from because you went to normal middle school and like elementary school, I'm guessing.
I actually went to an arts middle school as well, but I went to get this, Christian elementary. I went to a Christian school. Catholic
Okay,
school.
but those are like day schools, right? Those weren't like boarding schools.
Yeah, regular school. I only did boarding for high school. But
how was that transition?
Going into high school, the boarding school?
Yeah. Like that's like a huge, that's just, because I mean it's not just high school, it's boarding high school. So it's like another layer on top of everything. So like that must have been hard, right?
It was definitely, but see, it almost was natural, but also really difficult. Like, I feel like I didn't have to do much to get used to it, but getting used to it had its effects. Like, obviously, going from seeing people you love every day to never seeing them is hard. Like your parents, your best friends, or whatever it is. Because the people in, like, for example, I was saying how I gave 100% of myself to people high school, and I made that mistake. Well, let me correct that. That's not everywhere. That was just that high school, not back at home. Back at home, the people there are absolutely, they have all of my heart. They're the best people I've ever met in my life, and they are in my life forever, and they will be in my life the rest of my life. But the people at the high school were not like that. There's only a couple of them. My best friend in the world, actually, we met sophomore year. We were roommates. He toured my freshman year, and I was like, oh my God, they were roommates. Sorry, I thought I had to do that. Because I thought that was mandatory. I'm sure you can understand.
Yeah. Because I think there's a difference between school friends and like real friends, right?
Yeah.
So
it was a different adjustment because these people are either going to just be in your life for the next 4 years or they're going to be in your life for the rest of your life and you don't know it. Well, again, that was the only adjustment, was the kind of people. But, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I learned a lot, and I learned a lot, obviously, in my art as well. I mean, I'll give them the credit. I wouldn't have started the Josh Thomas Show if it wasn't for that school, which is something that I will always be grateful for, and the experiences I got there performing. But other than that, I'm not very fond of them.
They could listen to this.
Oh, well, in that case,
I love you all.
In that case, let's do this. They were great.
They were great.
I love them. Crop the first part out.
No, because I think it's just the way people feel. Like I don't think it's like a con. It's not like a bad thing. It's just like the way you sort of, feel. Like I had a horrible high school experience. I don't like most of the people I went to.
Why didn't you like your high school experience?
Because I didn't have any friends. Because I was interested in things like no one else was interested. Everyone else is like.
See, that's why I couldn't go to normal. That's why I didn't want to go to a normal high school. Because my interests were different.
And I tried to get out. It was the whole thing. I wanted to do online high school so I could like do school and then like donate my entire time to writing or doing stand-up. And my parents won't let me do it.
Some people just have different. That's why I think boarding school was so fun, because it was so cool, and I learned so much about myself, and I had like at the time I had like the best of friends. They were great. We hung out every day, but you know, obviously it's not their fault. We all lost connection. That's what happens with space. Like space in between, with time and space, like in fade. So obviously all this friendship faded, which I'm not affected by. That was an experience in my life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
but it was a really good time.
Yeah. And fun fact, that was Idlewild was one of the schools that I was like looking at. I was like, hey, this looks like these are where people who I like, these are people who look like are doing things that I like.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And it was just like, yo, I had the same interest as these people. Let me go do this rather than just go to normal high school, because I knew I would be bored. I knew if I went to normal high school that I would just be bored with my classes, and I just wouldn't enjoy myself as much. I don't want to go sit through, 8 hours of just math and PE, like math classes and science and PE. Like, I want to spend my time doing stuff that is an interest to me.
Yeah, I feel jealous because I wish I really had that. I mean, that's all I did outside of school.
You don't be jealous because your high school, you should be, that's what I would think. Never be jealous of what someone else did, because whatever someone else did may have worked for them, but you never know. What you did ended up working out for you perfectly.
That's interesting.
Your high school experience works perfectly because you came through it, and now you're at this really amazing school filled with amazing people that have the same interests as you. So you have exactly what you're saying that you're jealous of that you're living right now. And the past is exactly what leads up to what's happening right now. So everything played out perfectly, really. So I wouldn't say be jealous. I would be grateful. Everyone has we are all so lucky that we get this experience and that we did the right things to end up here,
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. It's a back and forth thing because it was but the thing is I would get like depressed in high school because I would just be so upset. Like, I think it got to the point where my parents said I couldn't switch schools and I ran out of the house crying. Like, I literally ran away from the house. In retrospect, it was the worst running away that's ever been done in history because I just ran down the street. It wasn't like I packed a bag and I never saw my parents again. It was just, I just stopped at this apartment building, like right at the end of the street, and I just sat at this bench, and it was just. So I do see what you're saying with like being grateful, and I am grateful for the experience I had outside of high school while I did everything I did outside of school. I'm extremely grateful for it because it did get me to here, but it's just I did meet a lot of people in high school that I am grateful that I met, but it's just it's kind of a back and forth thing. So it's like, sometimes you're grateful and sometimes you just look at some moments and you're like, oh my God, these moments I just wanted to die,
Yeah, exactly.
So, I also read that you performed at Second City.
Yeah. I was going to say before we moved on, I just want to say that that's really awesome that you shared that with me. I really appreciate you opening up like that. That meant a lot.
Thank you. I didn't do that to anyone.
I just want you to know that you're at a place where it's going to be very easy for you to make friends here. And you already have made friends. And so awesome. And you're at the perfect place for an artist like you. So I'm going to be excited for the next 4 years of your life. Are going to be really awesome.
Yeah, well, actually, it's 3 years because I'm a transfer student.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, I like the fact that you get to talk and, converse with other comedians, because I don't know about you, but I feel like there's a certain energy in the air when, like, comedians, like, talk to each other, or people with, like, comedic mindsets talk to each other. There's, like, a certain amount of, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like the conversations are different. It's more retrospective, and it's, like, kind of a much more mixture of silliness and seriousness than, like, just normal seriousness,
Yeah, I feel it.
How was, so let's talk about, Second City a bit. How was performing at, Second City, Hollywood?
It was an out-of-world experience. It just, the whole time, it didn't feel real the whole time.
What did you do there? Like, what was, like, were you in, like, a team or?
It was an improv team, and the experience was phenomenal. What I remember is because every week of rehearsal, we rehearsed in this, like, rehearsal room. We never went to the actual Second City Theater, but every time I would go in the bathroom break, I would always see it cracked open. I always, like, try to not, like I just try to see if I could see anything through the crack, but I couldn't, like, only ever see, like, the purple, like, window lights, the famous window lights, and that's what I was like, it's like right there, I want to go see it. And then I remember the day of the show was the first day we could go in. They said, okay, everyone in the green room. And I hadn't been in the theater until the first time I went on was when I went on stage. So.
Oh my God.
So when they were like, when I heard something I wanted to go in on, and then when I heard, I was like, okay, this would be a funny time to go in. Boom, I walked on the wings, and then I do something, it gets a reaction, and then after the reaction, I looked around, I was like, oh, shit, whoa. I was like, all right, fuck it. And I, like, looked around, and there was, like, the sad in the audience, and I was like, okay, this is unreal. So my experience with Second City was very fun and something I want to do again.
It's like, was that sort of like one of the times where it's like, because I think when you feel that there's a lot of people laughing at you, there's like an overwhelming sense of joy. The endorphins just shoot up, and it's sort of like, it's kind of addictive. It gets to that point where you're just like, I want more of it,
Yeah, exactly.
I remember when I performed at Caroline's on Broadway with this program. And I remember it was like 200 people. As like me and 7 other people, everybody did 5 minutes. And I said a joke, and it got like a huge laugh. And I think I've been chasing that ever since. And it's been 2 years. I just did an improv show in New York. And whenever I get that laugh, I'm sure you feel it too. It's just, it feels so good. It feels amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you have a passion for this.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad. I'm glad that there's there's other comedians that you can talk to of similar dreams and passions. What's kind of like the end goal for you?
Late night, hosting a late night TV show.
I can tell. I could when I'm watching that show, like I can he wants to be a late night host.
That's the dream.
That's the dream. Yeah, I also read, I think you posted something on Facebook like, hi, I'm Josh Thomas. You want to also work on SNL?
Yeah, I do. SNL is obviously a field for most comedians and something they really want to do. But yeah, I really would dream to be on the SNL cast, like many others do. But it's less of a race, more of a long mission.
Yeah, that's same. I have the same exact dream to be part of that. I'll take I would take SNL cast or writing,
Yeah, if they offered me, I would think about writing. I think I would say maybe. No, of course, yeah. If they offered me writing, I definitely would take that as well.
Yeah. Well, it was really a pleasure talking to you, Josh. It was I'm sure I'll get to know you much more in the year to come, and yeah, thank you so much for talking.
Thank you.